Can you guess the name? Can you guess the name? Hi-ho the Dario, can you guess the name? It starts with an L, starts with an L. Hi-ho the Dario, can you guess the name? Our name today is Lilo. This name might look familiar to you. Maybe you've seen a movie like Lilo and Stitch, or maybe you know someone named Lilo in your life. Let's read the name together. Lilo. Let's count how many letters. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's study the letters. L, I, L, O. So there are 2 L's, an uppercase L and a lowercase L. And now that we've gotten to the end of Lilo's name, let's cheer it. L-I-L-O. Tall, small, tall, small. We're gonna cheer kind of like a pattern. Tall, small, tall, small. Let's do it. We're gonna cheer Lilo. Ready? L-I-L-O. Lilo. Now we can add Lilo to our star name while under the L, like Ladybug or Lilo. Mabel and I were talking the other day, and she thought that we hadn't done a star name song in a while, so I thought it would be good for us to do it today. But I have another surprise for you guys. I brought some stuffed friends to celebrate all of your guys' hard work as word scientists. I was thinking, Mabel isn't the only stuffed friend who should know the alphabet, right? I think we should all learn the alphabet, and we could even take our stuffed friends to ABC school to teach them the alphabet, just like Mabel knows it so well. So if we want to teach new friends about the alphabet, where should we start? I know, let's sing the alphabet song that we all know so well to our stuffed friends. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. That's how we sing our alphabet song, and now all of our stuffed friends know, but can we show them how we read the alphabet chart like scientists? A, apple, A. B, ball, B. C, cat, K. D, dog, D. E, egg, E. F, fan, F. G, goat, G. H, hat, H. I, igloo, I. J, jump rope, J. K, kite, K. L, ladybug, L. M, monkey, M. N, nest, N. O, octopus, A. P, pig, P. Q, question, Qu. R, rainbow, R. S, sun, S. T, turtle, T. U, umbrella, V, volcano, V. W, watermelon, W. X, fox, X. Y, yarn, Y. Z, zipper, Z. Today I want to teach you that when you become an expert in something, like your ABC or alphabet chart, you can teach others everything you know about it. We can even teach our stuffed friends because it's important for everyone to know their ABCs. Let's make sure these friends do. First, let's talk about what we see. I see the 2 alphabet charts that we will be using. I see new stuffed friends and an old stuffed friend, and I see labels. What do you think these labels are for? Names. These labels are the names of our new friends. We have Mabel's label for her bed that we made together. Mabel's name is on a label, and we have new friends' names that we need to learn. This new turtle is Kua. This fish is Flip. This small dog is Izzy. And this bigger dog is Spot. Those are the names of our new friends. Since we are experts with our alphabet chart and we want to teach these friends everything we know about our alphabet chart, we should start with the first letter in their name. Do you think that we could teach each of these stuffed friends the first letter in their name so that they can become experts too? Let's start with teaching our friend Kua the first letter of his name. Let's look at the first letter. Do you know the name of that letter? We know the sound is K because his name is Kua. That means the first sound we hear is K, 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 Kua. The letter says K. What's the name of that letter? If you're not sure, let's look at one of our alphabet charts. Let's find the letter that looks like this letter. There it is. We found it so fast. K, K, kite, K, K, Kua. The sounds match and the letter matches. This is the letter K. Kua's name starts with a K. Let's tell Kua what we notice in his letter box. This is the K box. What do we notice that we can tell Kua? I see a kite. I see an uppercase K. I see a lowercase k. Let's see if our animal ABC chart has another K word for Kua. I see a kangaroo. Kangaroo, Kua. They start with the same sound. I see an uppercase K. I see a lowercase k. Kua's name has an uppercase K because names always start with an uppercase letter. So we know that Kua's name has the same sound as kite and kangaroo. Can you think of any other words that start with the K like Kua? Kid, koala. Those are some other words that start with the K sound like Kua's name. So now Kua knows what the first sound in his name is, and he knows what the first letter looks like. But Kua doesn't know how to write this letter. Let's show Kua how to write a letter K. First, let's look at the letter K. It goes down, and then in and out. Straight down, back to the top, and then in and out. Let's see if we can write that for Kua so that he knows how to write the first letter in his name. The letter K. Uppercase K is tall. So I go all the way to the top of the line and go down. That's my line. Now I need to go back to the top and go in and then out. We wrote an uppercase K. Do you think we could also teach Kua how to write a lowercase k so that he's really an expert with the first letter in his name? Let's do it. Let's write a lowercase k as well. Lowercase k is also tall. You start at the top and you go down, but then your next line starts in the middle and you go in and out. Uppercase K is all the lines are tall. Lowercase k, this line is tall and then the rest looks kind of small. That's the letter K for Kua. Let's teach our friend Izzy the first letter in her name. Do you know what the name of this letter is? We know it says I because that's the first sound in Izzy's name. Izzy. I. Izzy. This letter says I. That's the letter I. Let's look at the letter I on our alphabet charts. Here's the I. They match. Okay, Izzy's name uses an uppercase I because names always start with an uppercase letter. Izzy, igloo. It's the same sound. The sound matches. Igloo, Izzy. They start the same. I see an uppercase I, like in Izzy's name, and I see a lowercase I. Let's look at our animal alphabet chart. I see an uppercase I, like Izzy's name, and a lowercase I. This is an iguana. Iguana, Izzy. It's the same first sound. So that Izzy can really become an expert on the letter I, the first letter of her name, let's teach her how to write an uppercase I, like the uppercase I in her name. Uppercase I is tall. It starts at the top, you go down, and then across on top and across on bottom. Let's try it with the marker. It's tall, so we start at the top, go all the way down. And now we go across, across. That's the uppercase I. Now, to make sure Izzy is really an expert in the first letter of her name, let's also write a lowercase I. Lowercase I is small. We start in the middle, and we draw a line down, and then a little dot on top. Uppercase I, tall letter. Lowercase I, small letter. Now Izzy is an expert with the letter I. This is Flip. Let's teach Flip the first letter in his name. Do you know the name of this letter? It says flip. Flip is the first sound. This letter says it is the letter F. Let's find F on our alphabet chart to teach Flip about it. There's the letter F. I see an uppercase F, like the one in Flip's name, because names always start with an uppercase letter. And I see a lowercase f. I see a fan, flip, f. They have the same first sound. Let's look at our animal alphabet chart. I see an uppercase F, like Flip's name, and I see a lowercase f. I see a fish. Flip is a fish. They match. Flip, fish. They have the same first sound. Let's teach Flip how to write the first letter in his name, F, so that he's really an expert with it. F is tall. You start at the top, go down and across and across. Let's try writing it. We start at the top for the uppercase F. We go down and then across, across, like two little flags. Let's also show Flip how to make the lowercase f. Lowercase f is also tall. We start at the top and we curve down and then draw a line through it. Uppercase F and lowercase f are tall. Now Flip is an expert with the letter F. This is Spot. Can you see what the first letter in Spot's name is? We know it says S because that's the first sound in Spot's name. Spot, spot. The first sound is, that's the letter S. Let's look at our alphabet chart and tell Spot what we notice. There's the S. I see a sun, spot. It's the same first sound. I see an uppercase S, like the S in Spot's name, because names are always uppercase. And I see a lowercase s. Let's look at our animal alphabet chart. I see a snake, spot. They both say S. I see an uppercase S, like Spot's name, and I see a lowercase s. Can we think of any other words that start with the sound? We know that sun, snake, and spot start with the sound, but what else starts with the sound? How about star, like our star names, or silly, like how sometimes Mabel is silly. Now to make sure Spot is really an expert with the first letter in his name, S, let's show him how to write an uppercase S on the board. Uppercase S is windy. We go around back and then around the other way. Let's try it. Let's try it. Tall uppercase S. We start at the top. We go around and around like a windy road or a snake. That's an uppercase S. It's tall. Let's write a lowercase s. It's small. When we write a small letter, we start on this middle line there. Let's write a small s. We go around and around. It looks the same, but it's smaller. So now Spot is an expert with the letter. It's time for Fast Phonics. Now you might notice our Fast Phonics area looks a little different. Let me show you. We have our vowel chart up with all of our vowels, A, E, I, O, and U, our 5 vowels. We have our alphabet chart with all of our letters that we use to read and write, and we have the words that we have learned so far. I, can, the, we, see, and me. Today we're going to go over a letter and a word just like usual. Let's go over our letter first. This is the sun card. The letter is S. The S stands for the S sound like we hear in sun. What's the letter? S. What's the sound? S, like a snake. I will write an S because it stands for the S sound like we hear in sun. An S, an uppercase S, starts at the top and it's like a windy road. You go back and around. That's an uppercase or capital S. Let's make a lowercase s. Lowercase s is small, but you do the same thing. You go back and around. They look the same, but the uppercase S is tall. The lowercase s is small. It stays on the dotted line. Sun starts with the S sound. Can we think of any other words that start with the S sound? Sunny, sunglasses, silly, salt, and super, like you guys. Last week we stretched out words to hear all of the sounds in those words, like we did with the word am, am. We listened for the sounds. I hear a. A makes the a sound like apple. M makes the sound like monkey. Now we can read this word slowly. Am. This is the word am. Let's try to stretch out another word to read it. This is the letter S. The letter S says S. This is the letter A. The letter A says a. This is the letter M. The letter M says Let's say those sounds slowly. Sam. Say it with me one more time. Sam. Sam. The word or name is Sam. Let's try it with one more word. We're going to stretch out the letters and the sounds that we hear slowly. This is the letter S. The letter S says S. This is the letter A. The letter A says A. This is the letter D. The letter D says D. S, A, D. Let's say it slowly together. Sad. One more time. Sad. What's the word? Sad. This word is sad. We stretched out the sounds that we heard and then put them together to make a word. This is the word A. Let's read it, spell it, and write it. Read it. A. Read it with me. A. Now let's spell it. A. It just has one letter. Now let's write the word A. This is a lowercase a. Lowercase a goes around and down. Lowercase a is a small letter. Read some sentences that have words that we already know, like I can see, and our new word A in them. I can see a turtle. Read it with me. I can see a turtle. I can see a mop. Read it with me. I can see a mop. I see a mop. Read this one with me. I see a mop. I see a sock. Read it with me. I see a sock. I see a fish. Read it with me. I see a fish. I can see a sandwich. Read it with me. I can see a sandwich. Today we learned that when you're an expert at something like the alphabet chart and the ABCs, you can teach everything you know to someone else. Like how we taught Spot the first letter of his name, S, by showing him some things that we noticed on our alphabet charts. We taught him the sound that S makes, what S looks like, and how to write the letter S. Now Spot is an S expert